Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Nikki, and welcome back to another episode of the It's All Mental podcast, where there is something for everybody. So I'm excited about today's episode because this episode, I'm not riding it solo. I actually have a special guest here on the pod today, my best friend since college. We go back to NCCU days, Eagle Pride. I know some of our Eagles are out there watching. So, Brittany is joining me today. I'm so excited. Woo!
I'm glad to be here.
Don't be shy. It's okay. It's okay. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and get into the podcast, into today's episode. So as you can tell from that title, today we're going to be talking about navigating through our 30s. Like, this is a topic that I feel like needs to be talked about more, and it's something that we're experiencing personally because we are in our 30s now. Like, we're still in the beginning. We're fresh 30. We ain't in the late 30s just yet. But we still have different things about how different perspectives of how we thought 30s would be, how it would go, and where we would be in our life. So today we're just gonna chit chat about that. So you ready? Yep. All right, so navigating our 30s. So first of all, I told you guys we are fresh 30, 31 to be exact. We'll be 32 this year. So still early 30s, but it just feels like time is just going so fast. Like, even though 35 is a couple years away, it feels like it's like around the corner. And it's just moving too fast. Like, I need time to slow down, and I need time to really just like, pump the brakes a little bit, because I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready.
I'm not.
So let's go ahead and dive into it. So first of all, I'm gonna ask you, like, what did you have planned for your 30s? Like, what did you think 30 would be like for you? What were some of your goals and aspirations and different things you thought that 30 would just unveil for you?
I know that when I was like younger, because my parents were like, they was together, so they've been together for like 12 years. They went to school, so they had me at 32, and then my brother at like 35. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be like in a relationship, maybe married, maybe have a child. We just need to try to figure out life. So, but it's been hard trying to figure out. That's not how my life has turned out. So, I mean, my goal for 30s is I want to be like financially secure. Um, I wanted to have a job that I really loved. Going into my 30s, I wanted to have a sense of like, okay, Brittany, you know what you're supposed to be doing. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm still figuring it out. My life is just
life is life, and life is life, and out here
turned upside down. I don't know.
And that's okay, like, because I feel like we both in the same boat as far as like where we thought our lives would be. Because I know for me, I had this vision when I was a little girl, like, oh, I'd be married, I'd have kids, we have the big house with the yard, and just like the fairy tale dream that I feel like a lot of us girls have, like, and that we want. But as I got older, like even in my mid 20s to late 20s, that started to change for me then. Like, I started to feel like, okay, well, I don't really necessarily want that to be just like that. Like, I don't necessarily have to be married right away and then just like, have the baby and different things like that. Maybe, life can take its, time. And then I was more so like career driven, trying to be in a career that I was passionate about, and really trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to do and what was going to make me happy. So I kind of shifted that a little bit. Marriage wasn't at the forefront. I didn't think, oh my God, like I'm about to hit my 30s. I'm still in my 20s, but I gotta hurry up and find a man. Gotta get
Mm-hmm.
married. Gotta hurry up and have a baby. Like I kind of more so went down the career path. But now that I'm in my 30s, I am looking at like, okay, well, I know I said pump the brakes on the man and the kids, but
Yeah.
where is he, Lord? Like, where is he? And I'm thinking now, like, okay, 32 is coming up. I'm
Real
thinking like
fast.
32, maybe it's time for a baby. Like, maybe it's so many different things that I think about now versus when I was in my 20s still. Like now I'm kind of like, all right, I need you God to reveal him. Where
Mm-hmm.
is he? Like when is this baby like gonna come?
Yeah.
Cuz I don't want to be 40 years old trying to
No,
carry a
really.
child. Like although my mother, I love her to death, was 44 years old when she had me and I'm so thankful that she did. And I'm thankful that she pushed through in her 40s, but I just don't want that life for
No,
me.
real. I mean, I understand that. You want to be able to be around and actually participate, and then actually enjoy your child while you're a little bit younger.
Mhm.
And I feel like now might be a little bit easier if we were like to have a child because we're a little bit more mature and wiser, so we kind of know
Mhm.
what to like in a relationship or with a child
Mhm.
versus when we were like 25 or
Right.
whatever, and we just 2 or 3 years out of college, and then we've had that experience. We've had different situations that kind of help us to make life decisions. We've had a lot of
Yeah.
things to kind of shape us where we are today. But you still don't really know because I mean, a child and marriage is totally everyone is different, so you never know
It is. Yeah.
what you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's true. And now I'm starting to think it's not going to be in the order that, I would like for it to be. I would like to be married first. That's ideally that's what I would want because I do want to like be able to spend time with my husband just as us being husband and wife and
Yeah.
really experience marriage for what it is. But now it's like, you know, a lot of times it doesn't happen in that order. It's like a kid first and marriage may come after that, or even the person that you decide to have a child with, you may not end up marrying that person. So it's a lot that goes into
Hmm.
that. Like I do want to get married. I do want to have that experience first before having a child because I do want to experience that soloness of us being married, us being one before we bring a baby into that. But I feel like whatever God blesses me with first, like I'm okay with. I've come to the acceptance of if I by any chance have a child before I get married and if that person that I'm not with, the father of my child, then that's okay too. But ideally, I would want my husband. I want my husband to be also the father. Like,
Yeah.
I want it to go in the order that I feel like, our parents did. And,
Exactly.
I always look at my parents like
Hmm.
marriage as like a blueprint for me. But now I'm thinking times have changed. Like it's not like that
It's
those
not.
times anymore. People aren't getting married young anymore. Like they ain't growing up together and then finishing high school and then
Hmm.
running to the courthouse to get married and then staying together 40 and 50 years. It is totally not that way anymore.
It's
So,
not. They get married early, then divorce, and then it's a lot more people just. I think it's a lot
mm-hmm,
more people just getting married sometimes just because it looks good and social media trend, whatever. And I don't really think people really understand like marriage is like it's like a contract somewhat like,
mm-hmm,
but you have to consistently work at it, and it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be fun. You have to two people literally like
mm-hmm.
working at something all the time every day because you're not going to like that person all the time. You're going to go through different stages.
That's true.
And so marriage is not easy. So just looking at what my parents, so they've been what 32 years, 31. Marriage is not easy. So, but
It's not. And I think people don't value marriage anymore. They don't have the same
mm-mm.
values as they did. Like, it's very far and few that you find somebody that shares the same morals and values that you share nowadays too. Like, you know, I think that marriage is very sacred and it's not something that you should enter into lightly. I think like having a child is sacred as well because that's not something that you just do and then boom, like a child nurturing, it's a lot that
Yeah.
goes into having a child, and that's truly a blessing. Just like I feel like marriage is a blessing. God has blessed you with that one to become one with and to be equally yoked with, and just like God is entrusting you with the life of
Mm-hmm.
this child, you know. So I think that a lot of these things are sacred, and we just have to put more of a value on them. Like we really have to value them more and really appreciate them more.
Yeah.
So how did you think you would feel turning 30? Like now that you when you turn 30 first, let's go back. Now that you're in your 30s, when you first turned 30, did you feel different? Did you feel that wow factor that people try to feed us? Like, I know I was fed with that. Oh my gosh, when you 30, you're going to feel this and that. The first thing people told me about 30, they said when you wake up on your 30th birthday, you're gonna start aching and you're gonna feel stuff popping. I felt stuff popping before 30, so I don't know what those
Didn't I
people
tell you?
are
I
talking
thought before my
about.
birthday, I started having back pain. I said, "What the hell is this?" I think my back was. I think my mom was at my house. I think before I turned 30, even though I was in Atlanta for my birthday,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the month before, I said, "Why is my body hurting?" And but when I turned 30, I said, "Okay, maybe I just saw a light bulb just gonna pop in my head. Like I'm just gonna have everything just magically figured out." No, I turned 30 June 8th. July 1st, I had a mid I had a midlife crisis.
At 30, how do you feel
The
like
30
crisis at 30?
July 1st, I went in the bathroom and cut off all my hair.
I've been there. You go in the bathroom, you cut your hair off.
Cut off
I've
all
been
my
there.
hair.
I've been there.
And I'm thinking, okay,
I've even
I didn't know
had
what
my
it
sister
was.
do it. Shout out to you, Natalie. I hope you're watching right
And I remember that you sent me a whole video. I was like, you cut your hair?
now.
But no, I thought I was gonna have everything like together. You know, no. It's like when it comes to like these, it seems monumental birthdays or like what 25, 30,
Mm-hmm.
like 35. It seems like oh my gosh, like these monumental moments or whatever. Like dang. But I turned 30. It's like ooh, I'm really 30. Like I'm not 20 anymore. Like I'm grown. But I think now that since I'm about to be 30, I'm about to be 32, it's like, ooh, I'm grown.
See, I didn't have that feeling until this year when 2024 came, and I was like, I forgot for a second how old I was. Because I thought I was about to be 31 this year for real.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wait a minute, hold on, Nikki. You didn't have your 30th birthday last year. You had your 31st. You had your 30th the year before. I don't know what you think. And to track my birthdays, I have to think about what I did for my birthday. It kind of helps me remember which birthday is which. But when I turned 30, I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm 30. But now that I'm about to be 32 this year, I'm like, oh, whoa, hold on. Like, I'm trying to wrap my mind around this. Like, hold on now. This is
Whatever.
getting real. For real. Like, I don't know about this. Like,
But
I
I feel
had that
like
wow factor this year.
32 is like, ooh, I'm a big ass child. I'm a childish 30-year-old. I feel like our parents back then were so mature. When I look at my mom, she was so mature when she was 30 back then. And I myself, no, I'm a laugh.
I won't hear when my mom was 30.
Oh no,
So,
no, no. I'm just saying, like looking at back when I was younger, my mom
mm-hmm,
was seeing like when I was younger, she seemed like she was so much mature,
mm-hmm.
that she had everything together. but she's 60 some years old now. But I'm still trying to figure life out.
I wonder what my parents are like in their 30s. Like, as I said a little bit earlier, y'all, my mom had me at 44. So I had the life of being a child that had older parents. Like, I don't really remember how my parents operated and functioned, like, until they were in their 50s. Like, I just knew my parents at 50s, and as a young child, I thought that was really young. Like, I thought, like, 50, oh, my parents is I had these friends who had parents that was like, they like 30s, and my parents is 50 years old, and they like looking at me like, what? You sure you ain't talking about your grandparents? No, baby, I'm talking about my parents. What do you mean? Like, everybody just like, when I would say their age, they would be like, sure you're not talking about your grandparents? I'm like, no, these are my parents. My mom had me like in her 40s, and they were like, what? Oh my God, she's a saint. God bless her and everything like that. Like, but I think I really knew and started to watch them like when they were in their 50s. So before she has 44, so it's like I'm still very young. My mind's still developing. I don't remember a lot of my childhood, so it's like at that point, some people, they say they remember stuff since they was 5, 6. I don't remember none of that. I don't know how y'all remember it, but I don't remember nothing from 5 years old. So like I didn't really experience my parents fully, like remembering things until they were 50. So it was like I saw them like really take on life, and there was a lot of lessons and things I learned from watching them. Like I said, they were my blueprint, not only for marriage but for adults, for navigating through life when times were hard, when times were good, leaning on your faith, belief in God. And that's something that they really instill in me, and to this day I'm so grateful for, like, my faith, because faith has carried me through a lot. Like, it has carried me through so much. So that is the number one lesson that I am grateful for, like, is the faith and instilling just the word in me, like sending me to church, putting me in church activities, because I wasn't that child that was in like schools, a lot of school stuff. The most I did was cheerleading. I cheerleaded for a long time, but I was a cheerleader for years and years. But I was fine. I was in ROTC, but that was like my choice. Like, so.
Did you like ROTC?
I actually did.
You had to wear uniform?
I had, my mom still has a picture framed, might I add, in her house. I actually had a plan. This is a fun fact for people that know. I was at ROTC in high school, and I actually wanted to go to the Air Force, because at the time I wanted to be a nurse. So I wanted to go to the Air Force and be a nurse in the military. And I had lost all this weight in high school because, like, the ROTC instructors would, like, I would hear them talk about, like, in order to go through basic training, you had to have this percentage of body. Like, the military, it's no joke, y'all. It's not for the weak. Like, you have to have this percentage of body fat, different things like that. Like, I don't know how it is now, but at that time, like, that's what I was being told. So, like, I lost all this weight, was really working, trying to get into shape, because I wanted to go to the Air Force. And then my rebel side came out a little bit, because my mom was all for, like, yeah, they're gonna pay for your education and da 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 da. And then to look at back then and think about now that I actually went to college anyway, but changed my major because nursing was not for me. The sciences are not for the weak. Chemistry, biology, anatomy, all of that is not for the weak. I'm telling you. So imagine me being in the military, going to school to be a nurse, and what am I gonna do? Like, what? So
that chemistry in college had me just had me going to change my sciences.
I was in tutoring and still struggling. Like I had a study partner. I was going to tutoring. But I feel like those are all signs of just, hey, Nikki, this is just not for you. I could have done it if I really was in it. If my heart was really in it, I could have done it. I could have buckled down, studied harder, and said, you know what? I don't care if I gotta take notes and memorize these notes and like you can do it. You can do it. But then I started thinking about the exam, the state exam, and you gotta pay for it. If you fail, you gotta wait and pay for it. So life humbled me in that season of life, and I realized, Nikki, you were not meant to be a nurse. But I'm thankful because now I'm truly figured out my passion and what I'm passionate about and what I advocate for, and it led me to this. All of that led me here, and I'm thankful for it. It was hard. I mean, I wish it would have been a little bit easier to get here.
Well, at least you didn't have to go all the way through nursing school to figure out that you didn't want to be a nurse.
Oh yeah, I don't even think I would have made it. I wouldn't have passed the NCLEX exam.
The way classes were.
All my college students out there. It's hard, but I feel like that's your 20s to me, and a lot of people say this as well. Like, I feel like your 20s are a time where you can figure things out. That's where you make your mistakes. That's where you bump your head a few times and you fall down. Because when you in your 20s, you still learning yourself. You aren't fully aware of who you are. I am about to be 32 years old and I'm still learning things about myself. And there's still things about me that are changing. Like, for example, I was on the phone with a friend the other day who was talking about this. So me and this girl right here used to go out every weekend. Every weekend we used to go out all the time. And if my mama ever watched this, she gonna get me. Well, we used to go out every weekend.
Sometimes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right. Like we would go out. I'm being open and vulnerable. All right, truth. We used to go to the bar. To the bar. To the bar, people. And go out, have a good time, whatever. And then that was Saturday night. And Sunday we go to Boxcar and have a little mimosa. So I'm not encouraging anyone to drink unless you are 21 and older. Stick to the legal age. But we used to go out every weekend. It was so funny because I was telling my friend the other day, we was talking on the phone. I said, as I'm getting older, I was telling him, I said, I have become such a homebody.
Oh, really?
Like, he was talking about how, like, oh, he's bored and he trying to figure out what to do. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm actually fine sitting at home. Like, I like being at home, cuddled up on the blanket on the couch watching Netflix, binge. I love to binge a series. I don't like watching series when the episodes are like coming out week after week. I like it all to be in one season and then I could just watch it for hours. Like, I could sit and do that. I find enjoyment with being at home and being alone because I'm able to sit with myself. And that's how I really learn different things about me, is just sitting with myself. And not only am I able to sit with myself, I'm able to sit with God and I'm able to talk to him and I'm able to get that redirection and get that recharge that I need, because the week drains me out. I am a teacher, so I am drained completely throughout the week. So it's like the weekend when it comes and I'm able to just be at home and just peace and quiet and no kids
Nobody
running up to me, Miss Nikki, Miss Davis. I'm at peace. I'm happy. It's my happy place.
No, really. I feel like when we used to go out every weekend, I can't jump back like I used to. before
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
we was younger. Like, okay, let's say you go get mama, go to boxcar. Okay, I have to be up the next morning on Monday by 6:30 to be to work by 8 o'clock, 7:30. I can't do that anymore. I need a full need that full rest. It takes my body.
It takes a lot out of you.
But
Yeah.
like you said, I'm now more. If I don't have to, I don't need to go out all the time.
Mhm.
Whatever, maybe once in a while. But I think I've had that experience where, okay, you was going out. Nikki, you want to go this? You want to do this weekend? You want to go out? I'm okay. So every once in a while, it's okay. But like you said, I can come home. I like to be at home. Me, I like to read a good book.
Mhm.
Maybe pick up a good book and read that, or watch like a movie or a show, and I'm content. I am content. 'Cause I can't do it anymore. My body can't do it anymore.
That's why I feel like at this stage I really make a great mom because not a child wouldn't have to slow me down like, and it's when I used to be on the go, and that's not just going out, but it was always just different events and different things like that. Like it wasn't always just strict. I don't want y'all to think we were just partying all
We
the
weren't.
time.
We was
We
going to the. We was like actually
were
going. Like, I think Durham had this one August in the park, so we was going to different events like the city held like August in the park. We would go
yeah.
to
Mhm.
like we would just find different events
Just to go
that we
to,
could just
yeah.
go to, just not to be in the house, but just find different things to do. Like, you want to go here, they're having this, or you want to go here. I mean, just find something to do that, sometimes it was free. We love a good free event and stuff, but we was always just trying to find something to do, but necessarily it didn't have to be like we're going to a bar or we're going
Mhm.
out to just be drinking. We go out to have fun. We can be going out and just whatever. We used to
Yeah.
go was to the park, whatever, and take pictures.
Oh yeah, we love finding a good scenery to take some pictures, especially for birthdays or like special events or just random like get cute and go just really exploring the city. Like
Yeah,
we actually enjoyed doing that. And so it's like now we've become of age where it's like, all right, we want to slow down a little bit. We like being in the house a little bit more, cause it's like going back to what I said. Nowadays things are different, times are different, and not saying that was so long ago, but it's definitely a shift with the new crowd that goes out now. Like
yeah,
it's a little bit different. Like people are a little different these days, so it's like I feel a little bit safer in the house.
more
Mentally,
than
I
that.
feel safer, emotionally, physically. So I could be in the house. So now would be a great time to have a companion or to
Yeah,
like, different things like that because I'm glad and thankful that we with age become wiser and kind of
mm-hmm.
slowed ourselves down in a sense, and we didn't have to have anything to be like, all right, pump the brakes because we weren't wild, like we weren't
Yeah,
out there doing crazy things. Like we would be indoors sometimes. Like we would have like, I had to sip and paint one time. Like that was really fun. We've done vision boards before. So we do activities inside as well. But
we had that girls' night. Um,
yeah, we have girls' night. Like it's making memories. That's what it's really about. Like really making memories and just having fun with your girls. Like that's what it's about.
we had some good times.
We had some really fun times like over the years. So I'm over here talking like we about 50
Like,
like over the years and back in the days. Like it won't just
it was just like a
a
few
few
years ago.
years ago. Oh my goodness. But it's good to reflect. It's good to look back. A lot of people try to forget things have happened, but I feel like we've made so many great memories that the good has overshadowed the bad. So we have good memories and good times to look back on and say, you know what, we can share these stories with our kids. Not all of them, but most of them. We can share them with our kids and be like, this happened. This is when we did this, and just the pictures, show that as well.
We have plenty of pictures of and videos. Now I'm just thinking, you realize we've been friends for like 12 years? I think it's been like 12 years since 2012.
Yeah, we over a decade.
I
That's
was just thinking,
insane.
because he was like 22. Because we used to be in the same class, and I was like, and it was Mitchell who like it was Imani, my friend Imani, and then
Shout out to Mitchell.
and Imani was in Mitchell was in I think gym class together, and then so I met Mitchell, and then I met you, and we was in the same class together. And then they know you was in all my classes.
It's so funny how our circles connected. Like, she was friends with people that I was friends with, but we didn't know each other. And then, like, I had a group of friends that I was with that I didn't know knew our friend Mitchell. Like, by the way, Mitchell's a mutual friend of ours that we met in college. But it's like, it's so crazy how full circle college is. Like, you never know who your friends is friends with and how you may become friends with them. Like, it just intertwines. Like, it's so funny.
Just like ever since then, we did it every project, every project together that we had for class. I
Yep.
swear. It was like I was thinking about that. It's like, dang, it's been over 12 years.
It has. It's been a long time. 12 years is a long time.
And you don't really, especially when you're young, you don't really meet friends like that long that for that long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's, yeah, you don't really meet people that for that extended piece of time, period of time.
Piece of time of peace. All right, so I want to know. So we've established that we're gonna be 32 this year. So I want to know what's next. Like, what do you see for 32? And even looking beyond 32, like, have you sat down and just been like, all right, listen, this is where I'm at right now. I'm in my 30s, I'm in my early 30s. We are still very much so young. We still have time. I feel like you always have time. Every day that God gives you is like another day for you to wake up and get out here and accomplish a goal, because you're still here. So, because you're still here, because God allowed you to be here, your work is not done, your assignment is not complete. So, what do you see next for you? Like, what's next in line for Brittany?